What's up, Cards Chat? Jeff Gross here, and today we're going to talk about coolers, bad beats, and being results oriented. So, a couple things. Coolers happen. You get set up. That's part of the nature of the game. You lose with big hands. Another guy's a big hand. It's actually unlucky sometimes when you have the best hand and you cooler somebody, but you actually could lose and take a bad beat. Where you have aces, they have kings, they hit a king, etc. Today, though, I want to review a couple hands that were frustrating for me in a recent Twitch stream, and I want to share with you again kind of a couple different mindset ways to think about this. And also, when you're playing a lot of tables, and you can be having multiple tables, whatever games you're playing on a Sunday, let's just take because this is from a Sunday, it can affect your overall gameplay and your session. Or if you're just playing one table, still it can tilt you. You can be over it. You can think life's not fair. These type of mentalities. So let's just go over here and play a couple from the Twitch, and then we'll talk about them. So first of all, we have jacks here. We flat, which we're at the top of a range. We get squeezed by Jupiter June. I'm sorry.
Very likely squeezing.
And as we talk about it, so already we flat with jacks, tricky hand to play. We flop basically, we do flop the nuts, right? We block queen jack suited. Pocket queens is the only hand that beats us. So we're feeling really good. Now he could have ace queen. He could have queen king. Those are likely 3-bet hands. So on this type of board, it's not jack, deuce deuce or whatever. We realize we likely are in miles ahead, but his 3-betting range consists of a lot of queens, queen king, queen ace. Also kings or aces. Our hand's still a little vulnerable. Obviously we're loving life, but anyway, so you could argue, how do we get the money? It's a knockout tournament as well. That's a whole nother story. Are we trying to would we bet with a queen here? You want to be balanced. So anyway, let's just pick up the hand, kind of see where we're at, realize that, see how we're going to proceed. It was a crazy day. That's some crazy day for our Sunday grind, but let's just keep going with the hand. 27 blinds, stacked pot ratio is just over 1. What his stack is, he has 27.5 blinds, 22 in the pot. But I do want to bet something, because what would I do with 10s or 9s here? What would I do with ace queen? What would I do with 5s? Some hands that I might peel with. What would I be doing? And I think generally I'm going to want to take the lead. Quads. Feel good about quads.
This is how I'm scared today, because it's like he could just have queens would check the flop.
So again, what would we do? What would we do? What if we had 9s? Would we bluff? Probably. We'd have to bluff. What would we do if we had ace high? Maybe we get him off ace king if we had ace 10 suited. So we got to think if we have quads, but what's like the most realistic way to get paid? And of course, if he has just queen king or ace queen, we're just going to get the money anyway.
Why am I saying that then that day? He's just gonna.
Again, this is a replay from Twitch from a Sunday stream in October, late October. We do GM.
Oh my.
And quad over quads.
Today, what? I mean, come on.
So look, we were 2 at 34. 16 in the money. Very good tournament. The 7-7 Magnificent on Party Poker. All of a sudden, we go from 2 at 34. We lose a big pot. We still have 24 big blinds. And if you want to think about it mentally,
I need to highlight.
we lost as well that day. Jacks to 9-9, and it came jack high, 9-9 runner on a jack 3-4 board. And that was on GG, the other one. This one's on Party Poker. And, frustrating hand. So, again, 24 blinds. We do lose a decent bit of chips. And, it's sick. But let's look at it from a perspective of we flatted jacks. We could have just got it in pre-flop. We're behind anyway, right? So, yeah, quads over quad. All of a sudden, we're 23 at 34. Still playable stack. But, again, jacks to queens. First of all, it was dramatic. We lost with quads over quads. But we had the worst hand going into the flop, pre-flop. And we were drawing dead. And it was dramatic. So, it's easy to think, quads over quads. It's the sickest thing ever. But mindset-wise, it's annoying. We hit a straight flush the other day versus 8s versus 5s that made a straight flush over flush even. As hands happen, you remember generally the ones that happen to you. But again, it's huge to stay focused and be in a good mindset. In that same tournament, you see we were 23 at 34 at that point, the Magnificent 7-7. We go over here, and same day, kind of a crazy day. Now we're 19 at 25. We still have chips. And, all of a sudden, we're still battling. playing our best game. We're trying to stay focused and just, remain on task. And we go ahead and min raise in a pretty standard spot. This is 6-handed. See 2 players missing from the table. It's 8-handed. Actually, it's a 7-handed tournament, but there's only 6 at the table at the moment. And again, you don't want to be results oriented. It's so easy to be results oriented and stuff, and just say, "Oh, I got unlucky," or this happened. But we play a hand here, and 7s versus 7-7, the magnificent 7-7. It feels scary, right? Just something feels off. Big pot again, massive pot, knockout tournament, big buy-in, getting deep. We got some money back in the knockouts. There we make a tough call with 2 pair, check call, check the side. And then we finish. We bubble. So again, what's the point of the video? What are we trying to talk about here? We're trying to talk about hands you can't control and not to be results oriented. That hand, that guy, would you have done the same with 7s? My stack's vulnerable. I open, he has 7s. It's 6-handed. Late position raises. He shoves. Would I have done the same? That's one thing you should ask yourself. Would I have played his hand differently? I would have done the same. Okay. I end up losing the hand. But I would have done it. If it reversed, it would have been the same. Now, if some guy spazzes out and has ace-2 offsuit in a critical spot, you run really bad and get unlucky. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. But sometimes you guys remember, poker is about that. People get knocked out. It's a flow. There's a art to the game, and it's about bobbing and weaving. And sometimes, you're going to go through a patch where it's rocky, where it's not great. But you don't want to be results oriented, and you don't want to let it throw you off your game, because that is where you can get in a lot of trouble. So the message here is bad beats happen. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it affect you and get too upset, because this is where you become very vulnerable, make bad decisions, and again, results oriented. Don't worry about the outcome. Okay, what happened? Quads on quads. Could you have done something differently? No. Queens of 7s. Could you have done something differently? No. Would you have done the same thing if you were the other player? Yes. All these things align. So what are we talking about? Be positive, move forward. Those hands are unavoidable. You want to look at blind on blind spots. You want to look at steal spots. You want to look at reshove spots. Do things that you can actually control to work on and improve your game, and it's going to mean a lot for you. I can guarantee it. It's something I'm guilty of. I believe you must be guilty of, and all the best players in the world have been guilty at some point, and even still are sometimes, and being able to control what you can control. The ones that are the absolute top players, the ones that can just brush those beats off, that can realize it's part of the game, those are going to be the most successful, and you have the power to do the same. So I hope that's helpful for you. We have a video on CardsChat for Ask Me Anything, and anytime, guys, go there and ask me. I will try to get to all your questions. I do a lot of them. I appreciate you so much. Good luck on your grinds, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Have a great month coming up in November, and I wish you guys all the best. And as always, just be polite, have fun, be respectful of your opponents, and it's going to go a long way for you.